Hi, Jonathan York from Bay Financial Partners, looking at investment markets. No real great surprise last week when the Fed increased interest rates. It had been pretty well signalled. Now it's just a question of looking forward and seeing how many more rate hikes they expect this year. It looks like 2 to 3. Certainly potentially if the US economy continues to grow at a pretty reasonable rate, then certainly you're probably edging towards 3 interest rates, which will mean over the course of this year, US interest rates will have doubled. That's a pretty interesting number because, a doubling in interest rates really does put a little bit of pressure on the economy, and it's going to be interesting to see if the economy can obviously withstand that. But certainly under the current sort of growth projections and sort of earnings, it looks like it can do. Pretty testing time as well for President Trump. You can probably say the honeymoon period is well and truly over. You've got the FBI are now looking at allegations and an investigation into the lead up to the election and whether there was a little bit of collaboration with certain foreign countries. You also got the healthcare bill going through Congress, and that looks like it's set for a bit of a rocky ride. It's going to be interesting to see how that sort of comes out. You also got his nomination for the Supreme Court as well. And again, that's looking like it might be a little bit of a tough ride going through Congress. And then if that wasn't enough, Trump's approval rating is at 37% in the latest polls. That's a pretty low rating. And that's also lower than Obama at any time in his presidential 8 years. Interesting as well, oil is back through sort of $50, trading down around sort of $48 now, and it's just going to be very interesting to see how that sort of pans out over the next sort of three to 6 months. Certainly the OPEC Accord to try and get prices up, production down, appears to be on some very rocky ground, and you'd probably say it's failed at the moment. In Europe, there's a little bit of respite. The Dutch elections were sort of as sort of expected, and the populist vote didn't really come through. Let's put a little bit of calming waters on the French election, where again the populist vote and the far right looks like they'll do okay in the first round, but we won't do much better in the second. Obviously, the big news in New Zealand was Fletcher Buildings and the downgrade on earnings. But again, if you look behind the story, it's probably not quite as bad as first anticipated. And certainly the knee-jerk reaction sell-off was pretty major and looks pretty much overdone. Latest dairy auctions, a little bit of a surprise there. The dairy auction was actually up only a fraction, just over 1%, but it did halt a little bit of a fall, and it's now just going to be interesting to see the next one coming up, to see again if you can just eke out some slight sort of gains in prices. But overall it's looking okay. Likewise, New Zealand economy is sort of pushing on at a pretty reasonable rate. Certainly tourism's pretty good. Most of the sort of hotel accommodations around the country are pretty full. Just a question again, those tourism dollars spent. As discussed, most New Zealanders looking for income options. If you're interested in discussing what is available out there in the marketplace, call us on 0800 867 323 or go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz for lots of interesting articles. We look forward to speaking to you soon.